There's this moment in an elevator. Just silence.
Oh no, I know this moment. Someone stands next to you, and your brain says, nothing.
Completely blank.
I smiled instead. That's all I could do.
A smile and nothing else.
Exactly. Just a smile. And silence after.
That silence feels so long.
10 seconds felt like 10 minutes.
I believe that.
And then something happened after the elevator.
Wait, what happened?
I'll tell you later. It's a little embarrassing.
Now I need to know.
Later.
Okay. But that feeling, the blank feeling, I think everyone knows it.
Everyone, especially with a stranger.
With a friend, words come easy.
But a stranger stands there and your mind just closes.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Hey, by the way, welcome to Talk English class. I'm Grace.
And I'm James. And today, this exact elevator feeling is what we're talking about.
Small talk with strangers.
The scariest small thing.
Yeah, it sounds small, but it doesn't feel small.
No, it feels huge in the moment.
Can I tell you something honestly?
Please.
I used to think this fear was just me.
Really? You seem so relaxed with people.
Now, yes. Before, no. I used to plan my grocery trips around avoiding the cashier.
Wait, what?
I would choose the self-checkout every time.
Just to avoid a small conversation?
Just to avoid 3 sentences. Hi, good thanks, have a nice day.
That's very relatable, actually.
I know it sounds small when I say it now.
It doesn't sound small to me.
Thank you for saying that. I do something similar with waiting rooms.
Doctor's office?
Any waiting room. I look at my phone the whole time.
Even if nothing is on the screen?
Especially then.
So this is what today is about.
The stranger, the silence, the frozen feeling.
And how to make it feel a little less scary.
A little less scary sounds good to me. So let's stay here for a moment. Inside the frozen feeling.
Okay.
What actually happens in your body in that moment?
My chest gets tight.
Mine too, actually.
And my thoughts move too fast.
Fast how?
Like, say something normal. Don't say something strange.
All at the same time?
All at the same time, and then nothing comes out.
The pressure to be perfect closes your mouth.
That's exactly it. The pressure closes everything.
I think this is the real problem. It's not that you don't know English.
No?
You know a lot of English. In your head, you know it.
That's true. In my head, I sound fine.
But speaking with a stranger adds fear on top.
Fear of what exactly?
Fear of judgment, fear of sounding wrong, fear of the silence after.
Oh, the silence after is the worst part.
Say more about that.
When I say something and they don't answer right away, I think I said it wrong. That's why they're not answering.
But maybe they're just thinking.
Maybe, but my brain doesn't believe that in the moment.
This happens to so many people. I want you to know that. You are not alone with this feeling.
It helps to hear that, honestly.
Here's something interesting, though.
What?
Native speakers feel this too. Small talk is hard for everyone.
Wait, really? Even in their own language?
Even in their own language. Some people are naturally shy.
I never thought about that.
We think it's only an English problem.
But it's a human problem, too.
A human problem wearing an English costume.
That's a good way to put it.
So the goal today isn't perfect English.
Then what's the goal?
A few simple tools so the silence feels less scary.
I like that. Small tools, not big pressure.
Exactly. No pressure to be interesting.
Just present, in the moment.
Yes, present is enough.
That mistake we make, freezing, going silent, that's completely normal, right?
Completely normal. Many people feel this exact thing.
Good. I needed to hear that today.
Okay, now tell me, the elevator story.
Ha, right. I promised.
You promised.
So, this was at a new job, my second week.
New job, new building, new people. High pressure already.
Very high pressure. I didn't know anyone yet. I get in the elevator, and there's my manager's manager.
Oh no, the big boss.
The big boss, just the two of us, 6 floors.
6 floors of silence?
I tried to say something. I really tried.
What did you say?
I said, "Nice elevator."
Wait, nice elevator?
Nice elevator. Those exact words.
Oh no.
I know. I heard it come out of my mouth and I thought, why did I say that?
What did he say back?
He just said, yeah, and looked at his phone.
6 floors of that?
6 floors of that. It felt like 60.
Oh, James, that's so relatable, though.
For weeks I thought about it. Nice elevator. Who says that?
Someone who is nervous. That's who says that.
I guess so.
Can I tell you mine now?
Please make me feel better.
This was years ago at a laundromat.
Okay.
A woman was folding clothes next to me, very friendly looking.
Friendly is good.
She said something to me, but I didn't understand one word.
Not one word?
Not one word. My brain just didn't process it.
What did you do?
I laughed and said, "Yes, exactly."
Wait, you agreed with something you didn't understand?
I agreed with something I didn't understand. What was she actually saying? She was asking if I had seen her missing sock, so I basically said, "Yes, exactly," to a missing sock question.
Oh, Grace, I still think about that sock. So even you had this moment?
Even me. More than once, actually.
That actually helps, knowing you weren't always confident.
I wasn't. Not even close. The confidence came slowly from small moments like this.
Small, embarrassing moments becoming something else?
Becoming practice. Just practice.
I like thinking of it that way.
The mistake isn't the end of the story. It's just one small part of it.
One small, slightly ridiculous part.
Yes, slightly ridiculous and human. So here's what I've learned. Slowly, over time.
Tell me.
Small talk doesn't need to be interesting.
It doesn't.
No, it just needs to be present. About right now.
About right now, like the weather.
Exactly like the weather, or the line, or the weight.
That feels too simple.
Simple is the whole point. There's a phrase that changed how I start conversations.
Oh, this is the phrase you mentioned earlier.
This is it.
Finally, tell me.
I started saying, "This line is taking a while, huh?"
That's it?
That's it. Nothing clever, nothing planned.
But it works?
It works because it's about the shared moment. You're both standing there, you're both waiting.
So you're just naming what's happening.
Naming what's happening, that's the whole trick.
I never thought of small talk as naming what's happening.
It removes the pressure to be interesting.
I like that a lot, actually. I tried something recently too, a phrase.
Tell me.
I practiced saying, "Sorry, my brain just went blank for a second."
Oh, I like that one.
It felt strange the first time, very exposed.
But?
But it worked. The person just laughed and said, "Same, honestly."
See, that's the secret nobody tells you.
What secret?
Honesty relaxes people more than perfect words do.
Saying I'm nervous instead of hiding it.
Exactly. Hiding it takes more energy than admitting it.
That's true. Hiding is exhausting.
There's another one I use for when the silence comes back.
The scary silent?
The scary silence. I just ask a simple question. Have you been waiting long? Or do you come here often?
Those feel manageable, short.
Short is safe. Short is easy to say under pressure.
What if they answer and then it's silent again?
That's allowed too.
Wait, silence is allowed?
Silence is normal in conversations, even between friends.
I never thought of silence as being okay.
We think every second needs words. It doesn't. That takes some pressure away, honestly.
A comfortable silence is still a connection.
A connection without words.
Sometimes, yes.
What about after the small talk? Like, how do you end it? Something simple again. Well, have a good one.
That's how you close it?
That's how I close it. No big performance needed.
So the whole thing, open simple, stay simple, close simple.
Simple the whole way through.
That actually feels possible. Not scary possible, just possible.
That's the goal. Possible, not perfect.
Possible, not perfect. I like that.
Let's try something quiet for a moment.
Okay.
Think of one place where you often feel that frozen moment. Maybe a checkout line, maybe an elevator, maybe a waiting room. Just picture it in your mind.
I'm picturing mine, the elevator, again.
Now, quietly in your mind, think of one small line you could say there. It doesn't need to be clever, just present, just simple.
I have mine.
You don't need to say it out loud right now. Just notice how it feels to have it ready.
It feels lighter, actually.
That's the point, having one small line ready.
Like a tiny umbrella for a silent moment.
I love that, a tiny umbrella.
It won't stop the rain completely.
No, but it helps a little.
A little is enough for now.
A little is enough, always. Now think of one honest line like James used. Something true if the silence feels too big.
Mine would be, sorry, I'm a little nervous talking right now.
That's a strong one.
It's scary to imagine saying it, though.
It is, but scary and impossible are different things.
Scary and impossible are different things. I'll remember that.
You don't have to use these today. Just knowing they exist waiting for you is already something.
Already something. I feel that.
So here's a small thing to try if you feel ready.
Only one small thing?
Only one. This week, choose one moment. A cashier, a neighbor, someone waiting near you.
And say one simple line?
One simple line. About the moment, nothing planned in advance.
What if it goes wrong? What if it's another nice elevator moment?
Then it goes wrong, and you have a funny story for next week.
A funny story either way.
Either way, you tried. That's the whole win.
The trying is the win, not the perfect sentence.
Exactly that. And here's a question for you listening right now.
Go ahead.
What situation makes your English disappear the most?
The elevator, the phone call, the new coworker?
Tell us, we really want to know.
Because if you tell us, someone else listening feels less alone.
Someone reads it and thinks, that's me too.
That me too feeling matters more than people think.
It really does. Maybe your voice feels small in these moments.
Small and a little shaky.
That's okay. It's allowed to feel small right now.
Even after today?
Even after today, change doesn't happen in one episode.
It happens slowly, I guess.
Slowly, in elevators, in lines, in small waiting rooms.
One nice elevator moment at a time.
Exactly one moment at a time.
I feel a little less afraid of silence now, honestly.
That's enough for today. That's already a lot.
Little by little, every single day.
Your voice is worth hearing, even when it shakes a little.
Even when it shakes.
We'll be here next time, still learning too.
Still learning too, together.